You are listening to The Brian Craig Show podcast, broadcasting from sunny South Florida. Brian is joined by his wife and co-host, Kathy. Follow Brian on social media at briancraigshow.com. And now, Brian and Kathy.
Welcome to the program, everyone. I'm Brian Craig, always joined by my wife and co-host Kathy. All right, we are in some really serious times in America because the arrest of Donald Trump is expected any day. And, you know, this Trump being arrested story, I would not even be talking about it. I wouldn't even take it as half serious if President Trump had not posted on Truth Social over the weekend that he's going to be arrested on Tuesday. Now, just because Trump said he's going to be arrested on Tuesday does not mean he's going to be arrested on Tuesday, because there's been a lot of talk going on in the country since President Trump said that. And the Uniparty, Bragg, that Soros DA in New York, we'll talk about all this stuff. They may have gotten so much negative feedback that they may change their mind, okay? Or the arrest may get put off to another day. Who knows? But Trump saying that he is getting arrested by Tuesday means that the DA's office in New York, Bragg, has been talking to Trump's team, getting them prepared for it. And it's a big deal. He's not like a regular guy. He's a president. So that means his people have been talking to the people in New York in Bragg's office about an arrest of Donald Trump. So it is a real thing now. It's hard to believe that they're talking about arresting a president of the United States.
I think it's going to backfire gloriously. And I think this will, this is a big mistake. And it's a desperate move. I mean, you had pointed out to me that Bill Clinton gave Paula Jones money.
Over $800,000.
And hush money. And they didn't even bat an eyelash.
Yeah.
And not to mention the laptop and all the things going on with Biden. And I just read an article today, CNN admitted that this money with China is a problem for Biden. They're finally admitting that there is something there. And they're going to arrest him. I don't know exactly what they're charging him with.
They haven't said yet. We don't know.
So from what all I know is Michael Cohen paid this woman, and I don't even know if Trump knew about it. He hasn't really talked about it, but I'm assuming he knew it was going to happen. But I'm guessing what happened is she made a threat, blackmailed, and it was right before the election. And Michael Cohen probably said to Trump, I'll handle it, I'll take care of it, and she'll go away. And that was the end of it. He was like his fixer. And maybe that was a mistake. I don't think he foresaw this happening. This is what rich people do. I mean, if somebody, when you're rich, you're a target for all kinds of things. And there's all kinds of kooks. Look at this Jean Carroll woman that's suing him for rape and all. There's all kinds of kooks that come out of the woodwork for attention, for money.
Yeah.
And they write books. And Stormy Daniels has made a lot of money off of this. She's not going to come clean anytime soon. Now she's making a new movie with her disgusting husband. Mm-hmm. She'll make more money off that. This is very profitable for her. But it's really disgraceful that a president is possibly going to be arrested, booked. And I've told you guys, they want that mugshot of Trump. It'll be plastered all over the news. I mean, I think this is a huge mistake by the left, and they are going to really regret. Not that anything. I'm just saying politically, it is going to be. They're going to regret doing this politically down the road.
We got a lot of updates, which I'm going to get into on the podcast here. But I think this is what happened with Stormy Daniels and Michael Cohen. I think they went to Michael Cohen. When I say they, I mean the Uniparty, Republican establishment, Democrat, and the deep state. They went to Michael Cohen during the first campaign and set Trump up. They sent Stormy Daniels to Michael Cohen. And I remember very clearly when the story first came out about Stormy Daniels and Michael Cohen. First off, Trump never had sex with her. I'm sorry. He did not have sex with this woman. Either. I don't believe it. No. If he had sex with her, she's making a porno movie right now. She's just gotten married to a guy, and she's directing a porno movie.
Too afraid of getting a disease.
She would be out there very publicly talking about like things about his private parts and things like this. And she's not doing any of that stuff. She's being very silent.
She even admitted at one point she made it all up.
Yeah, but the thing about it is I think they went to Michael Cohen and they got him to set Trump up. Because I remember very clearly when this story first broke, Michael Cohen paid off. Stormy Daniels went to Michael Cohen. Michael Cohen was very high profile. Everyone knew he was Trump's attorney. She went to Michael Cohen, blackmailing Trump through Michael Cohen, and Michael Cohen paid her. But he paid Stormy Daniels with his own money. I remember that very clearly.
Yeah, so I don't understand the connection with Trump. And I don't know if Michael Cohen could have been trusted at all. He's the kind of guy, he's a scummy guy, obviously.
What I think happened is these anti-Trump forces went to Michael Cohen.
Yeah.
And they got him to do this with Stormy. I think the whole thing was a setup, like the fake Russian dossier. Now, later on.
Like in The Firm, but Trump didn't go all the way like Tom Cruise did.
Yeah, but later on, when all this went to court and everything, Trump did admit that he did pay back Michael Cohen for the money he gave Stormy Daniels. But that doesn't mean that he had anything to do with it. I don't think that he did. And I think Trump was set up by the Uniparty and the deep state through Michael Cohen and Stormy Daniels. But the thing about it is, Stormy Daniels went to Michael Cohen to blackmail Trump. Pay me money or I'm going to go public and say these things.
Yeah.
Now, from my understanding, when someone blackmails someone, the person that gets arrested is the person that's doing the blackmailing. I've never heard of someone,
the victim,
who's a victim, who's being blackmailed, paying off someone, getting into. Like if you came
We're
to me.
We're in a whole new territory here with Trump.
Like if you came to me and said, I'm going to go public and say XYZ, whether or not it's true or not, unless you pay me $50,000, and I give you the $50,000. I haven't committed a crime. You're an extortionist. You're extorting money from me. You are the criminal. So this whole idea that even if Trump did what they're accusing him of is something to be arrested for is insane. On top of the fact that this thing with Stormy Daniels happened 7 years ago, the statute of limitations is only 5 years.
So they haven't given any indication what they're charging him with.
No,
yet.
What a lot of people are speculating, and they think it might be some campaign finance laws. Like this is just people speculating because we haven't gotten the charges yet, and they're speculating in the media. And what they're saying is that he used campaign funds to pay her. I don't think he would do something like that. To pay back Michael Cohen. It's all BS. It is what it is. See, this is what's going on. Trump is an announced candidate and he's running. And I was talking about this on my live stream on YouTube over the weekend. If you guys should follow me on YouTube, Brian Craig Show on YouTube. I live stream when I'm on the radio during the week. And I also have live streams there all the time. Brian Craig Show on YouTube. You will really enjoy my channel, I promise you. But I was talking about this a lot. I did some live streams over the weekend about everything that's going on here, okay? Yeah. And the worst thing that Stormy Daniels ever accused Trump of was consensual sex, which he did not have, okay? So while that may be a moral lapse, if what she said was true, and I don't believe it is, it's not criminal. But this is what's going on. They have scientific polls, and these are polls that we never see, okay? These are polls that the Uniparty and the Democrats have been doing. And they've been running every possible scenario imagined, Trump versus this person, Trump versus that person. And no matter what poll they've done, Trump has come out as a winner. You've seen it. All the polls that we've seen show Trump in a double-digit lead in every poll. So they see that Trump is unbeatable. They've done everything. They polled him against Biden. They polled him against Kamala. They polled him against Gavin Newsom. They polled him against DeSantis. They've done everything. And no matter what poll they've done, he's still ahead, probably double digits. And they're in a panic. What can we do to stop this guy? And I've been watching a lot of MSNBC over the past few days because they talk about this a lot. And I would not recommend watching it. It's very difficult to watch. But I watch MSNBC because those are the people in the inner circle of the Democrat Party, and you get an idea of what the Democrats are thinking in regards to President Trump on this issue. And they have this fantasy that if he is arrested and charged with a crime and they have a mugshot and he's fingerprinted and he's arraigned and he goes to jail, that MAGA supporters who are law and order types will turn their back on him and say, we've had enough.
Well, I think that's what
that's a fantasy
mostly about is they're really desperate. Like you said, they know he's way ahead. And they're really, really desperate to get MAGA to turn on him. That is all they want. And they think if they get a mugshot of him and they book him and they get all, you believe me, they'll have photographers there showing him getting a fingerprint and everything. all that is going to do is make him more popular and make him a martyr and a bigger folk hero than he already is. He's already what's the guy that Davy Crockett type? Not that Davy Crockett had these kinds of problems, but he's like a folk hero. And he was a politician, and there were songs about him. They'll be writing songs. They're writing songs about Trump now. I mean, do they write songs about Biden? No. They're writing songs about Trump now. He's already a folk hero, and they're going to make him even more. So it was interesting because the Daily Mail had pictures. There were people in front of Trump Tower, and they were burning a flag with Ron DeSantis on it.
Oh my goodness, how'd that happen? Who has a flag like that?
It's like there's all kinds of flags. They're pissed because, like what you were talking about, he has the power to look into this and do something, and he won't. He's staying out of it. And let me tell you something right now. If Ron DeSantis does not get involved at some level, like now or tomorrow, to stop this or hold it up or do something to say, look, let's look into this, he is putting the final nail in his coffin politically. He's done. If he was running again in 2 years for governor, he would never win after this because everybody sees him as betraying Trump. He'd be done. And if he does not get involved and help him, and I predict he won't, I think he will stay away. I think the problem he's having is the Bushes are telling him his strategy of avoiding all things Trump, to me, is right out of a Bush playbook. And they're telling him, don't acknowledge him, don't talk about him, just pretend you don't know him and this and that, and just wait it out. And I think that's a horrible strategy. You cannot ignore Trump. He is not somebody to be ignored. And I think his strategy of ignoring this, ignoring the problem, ignoring Trump is going to backfire so much on him. It makes him look weak, and it makes him look like a coward that he's not doing something. All he has to do is say, look, we're going to look into this and see what's going on. Hold up on what you're doing. He has the power to do that. And I don't think he will. What do you think? Do you think he'll do that Monday? I don't.
Let me tell people what Kathy's talking about here. Okay. Trump lives in Florida. Mar-a-Lago's in Florida, and he's home. I was just at Mar-a-Lago yesterday. When there's an indictment and an arrest warrant from another state like New York, there's an extradition process between the states, okay? And this is not true of just Florida and Ron DeSantis. This is true of all the governors. When there's an arrest warrant in another state, the governor of the state where the person is located, the governor has the right to call for a special investigation to determine whether charges are warranted and extradition is warranted.
Yeah,
so
that's what you should do.
If this Soros district attorney, Bragg in New York, comes out with an arrest warrant for Trump and an indictment, Ron DeSantis can do nothing and stay out of it, or he can say, wait a minute, this isn't right. This is America. We don't arrest people and charge them because they're running for office.
Ex-presidents. Yeah. This is not just a people.
And I'm calling for an investigation into this indictment to see if it's warranted. He could do that, and he could stop it. In fact, Ron DeSantis could offer safe haven and sanctuary to President Trump in Florida.
He offered it to Libs of TikTok. Why doesn't he offer it to him?
So Ron DeSantis can do that, or he can stay out of it. Now, I'm going to give DeSantis a break right now until charges are announced.
I don't think he'll do it.
It's probably best for DeSantis to stay out of it a little bit until we get closer to charges. But I think DeSantis should come out now and say, listen, the word is that there's going to be an arrest warrant put out for President Trump. He's a Florida resident. He's one of my constituents, and I will not allow extradition to New York or any other state for Donald Trump. That I am offering Donald Trump sanctuary in the state of Florida because we do not have political prisoners in the United States. This is not a banana republic. But Ron DeSantis isn't doing that. In fact, Ron DeSantis hasn't commented at all on this whole story that's several days old now.
I am going to put up a poll in your community section on YouTube after the show. Do you guys think Ron DeSantis will intervene or not? And my say is he will not. I hope he does, but not what you hope he will do. What do you think he will do? I think that I think all along he has been waiting for this to announce he's running. And I think he's fully aware of what's happening, and he's going to ignore it and let it happen. That's my theory. I hate to say that, I hope I'm wrong, but that's what I think is going to happen.
Well,
He will do absolutely nothing and just play dumb.
If Ron DeSantis allows this to happen, he will lose the ability to be elected as a Republican.
That's what I just said.
Again.
He will destroy his political career.
There will be no possible chance for Ron DeSantis to ever be resurrected as a king. In fact,
I agree totally with that.
If Ron DeSantis does not stand up for Donald Trump, there will be recall petitions signed. Now, we don't have a recall system for governor in Florida. I know a lot of states have these recall things. So far as I know, we don't have that in Florida, but that doesn't mean there won't be recall petitions. He will not be electable ever again, and his political career will be over if he does not stand up for Donald Trump. Now, I want to tell you guys about the great Mike Lindell, who's a great supporter of this program. At mypillow.com, with our promo code Kane at checkout, Kane, there are huge savings, up to 80% off top MyPillow products with our promo code Kane. And I don't know how many of you have read this, but Mike Lindell, who was under tremendous pressure for his defense of Donald Trump, had to recently take a $10 million loan out to maintain MyPillow because he's under so much. He's been kicked out of all these big stores like Walmart and others because of his defense of Trump. And Mike Lindell has vowed, and he's been able to keep this promise, not to lay off a single worker. And if you would like to support this program or any of the content I bring you, which is the podcast here with Kathy, my YouTube channel, the radio show, using our promo code Kane at checkout at mypillow.com, Kane, is a great way to support all of the content that I'm affiliated with. And it's also helping out Mike Lindell, who's one of the biggest supporters of Donald Trump who has ever lived. Okay? I mean, he really puts everything on the line. And if you go to mypillow.com, you can take advantage of all the specials with our promo code Kane at checkout, Kane. And I'm going to talk a little bit today about the MyPillow towel set. Okay, the MyPillow towel set is absolutely amazing, and it's at a very low price. It normally is $99.98, basic $100, right? 2 cents short of $100. With our promo code Kane at checkout, Kane, just $49.99. So that's a pretty good deal. It's half off. And the MyPillow towel set, we have 2 sets of these, one in each of our bathrooms. They are just the best towels. You've seen Mike Lindell on television. He says towels that actually work. What a concept. And that seems kind of catchphrasy, but it's true. And they are amazing. And I tell this story that is just an amazing story about how I got out of the shower, all the towels were dirty, and all I had to dry my body off with was the little washcloth from the 6-piece MyPillow towel set. I dried off my entire body and my hair with that little washcloth, and I was completely bone dry. It was absolutely amazing. And
you could have done it again.
Absolutely. Now, we've had our MyPillow towel set, I don't know, the first one over a year, and we wash them, we dry them.
They're like new.
And they're just as soft and as fluffy as they were the day they arrived.
Yeah, they're amazing. And they're bigger than regular towels, which a lot of people appreciate. They're larger than a normal towel. They're a little longer and wider, so they're almost like a beach towel, really.
They're awesome.
Much thicker.
They're so soft.
Yeah, I mean, you could literally use one as a blanket and be totally comfortable.
Yeah,
not kidding.
Everything Mike Lindell makes is of high quality, and these MyPillow towel sets are absolutely amazing. Yeah. Now, again, you can take advantage of all the specials at mypillow.com with our promo code Kane at checkout, Kane, regardless of what the special says, not just the ones that I highlight. I share what I think are the best deals and the must-haves. So go to mypillow.com, use our promo code Kane at checkout, Kane, and support the program, and at the same time, support Mike Lindell. Promo code Kane, Kane, at checkout at mypillow.com. Now, we're going to take a quick break. When we get back, there's a lot more to talk about. Don't go anywhere. I'm Brian, always joined by my wife and co-host Kathy. We'll be right back.
Are you in need of a little self-care and relaxation? Create a cozy mood and unwind with irresistible fragrances from candlesandjunk.com. That's the letter N. Create a cozy mood and unwind with irresistible fragrances from candlesandjunk.com. landslide.com. That's the letter N. They feature a wide variety of scents and products to keep you warm and cozy. Stocked with candles, bath bombs, lotions, essential oils, and more, you're sure to find the perfect match for any occasion. With unbeatable prices, fast shipping, and high-quality candles, there's something waiting for everyone at candlesinjunk.com. They also make great gifts for the candle lover in your life. Don't settle for plain, boring candles and the same old scents. Experience the fun of comfort and relaxation with products from Candles in Junk. That's the letter N.com. Candlesinjunk.com. Attention all crypto investors and NFT collectors. Help make a positive impact on our environment with the Save Your Rhinos NFT collection. Brought to you by New Verse Center. New Verse Center is an established environmental company using Web3 technology. They're focused on contributing to environmentally friendly and humanitarian-focused projects. They are working to provide support to stop the poaching and habitat destruction of rhinos. The Save Your Rhinos NFT collection is your key to enter the New Verse ecosystem and enjoy the benefits they provide for creators in the arts, business, and technology fields, all while doing their part to creating a healthy environment. Don't miss your chance. Grab a Save Your Rhinos NFT and visit newversecenter.com to learn more. newversecenter.com. Are you tired of bad hair days? Or are you struggling with hair loss? Ready to Hair Wigs has the perfect solution for you. Their faux human hair wigs are made with the best Japanese synthetic fibers, ensuring a natural look and feel. They come in different lengths, colors, and styles, and can even be cut to fit your desired style. Plus, they're ready to wear right out of the box. If you want to change up your look, Ready to Hair Wigs are perfect for that too. Use them as an outfit accessory and take your style to the next level. The wigs are heat resistant, which means you can style them to your heart's content without worrying about damage. Ready to Hair Wigs believe that every woman deserves to feel confident and classy, no matter what. That's why they offer their wigs at affordable prices. So head over to readytohairwigs.com. That's READY, the number 2, HAIRWIGS, readytohairwigs.com. Find them on Instagram and Facebook at readytohair_wigs. Start your wig journey today. readytohairwigs.com.
You are listening to the Brian Craig Show podcast, broadcasting from sunny South Florida. Brian is joined by his wife and co-host, Kathy. Follow Brian on social media at briancraigshow.com. And now, Brian and Kathy.
Welcome back, everyone. I'm Brian Craig, always joined by my wife and co-host Kathy. Thanks, everyone, so much for tuning in.
Okay, so I put up the poll on your YouTube channel, the community section. If President Trump is charged, do you think Governor Ron DeSantis will intervene and stop his extradition to New York City? So I just put that up there. And then I had a poll up last week. We've had 2,800 votes. Do you think Trump will be indicted next week? 15% said definitely. 66 said no way. And 19 said I'm not sure. So 66 are either living in denial or extremely hopeful. This was after Trump announced he was going to be arrested that I put that poll up.
Well,
Believe it, it's going to happen.
Now, listen, I'm going to be saying this a lot over the coming days and weeks and however long this Trump arrest talk is going on.
Yeah.
And this is what I'm going to tell you, okay? And you're going to hear me say this a lot, and I think this is very important. Do not protest. Do not go to a rally. I know Trump has a rally coming up next week. Do not go to, it's in Texas. Do not go to a Trump rally. Do not go to any MAGA events.
That's what Marjorie Taylor Greene said.
Don't go to anything. In fact, yesterday I went to Mar-a-Lago, and I was going to go back on Tuesday because that's the day Trump said he was going to be arrested. I'm not going back.
Sure.
I'm sure. Do not go to any of these things. And I'll tell you why. This is what they want you to do. And and that's just the way it is. I think President Trump should cancel his rally in Texas next week. I think it should be canceled. I don't think people should go. It's what they want you to do.
Well,
and
Marjorie Taylor
you got to
Greene
be cool.
agrees with you. She cautioned MAGA, who plan to protest, said worried that such events could be hijacked and turn violent.
You got to talk into the mic a little.
There's a lot of concerns about protests because of people like Ray Epps and Scaffold Commander.
That's right.
She said so.
There's a lot of Ray-ups around
to believe that things, with January 6th were not what they seem. So she agrees with you. I agree with you on this. Normally, I would say, protest. It's our right as American citizens to peacefully protest. Considering January 6th and what happened, why open the door for something like that? That is what they are absolutely want and are waiting for.
No,
I just read an article. They're beefing up security now in New York City because they're expecting.
Yeah.
So this is the problem. Whether MAGA shows up or not, they might orchestrate something, and we have no control over that. But we don't want to see anybody that's MAGA getting in trouble or getting arrested. So if you just don't go, you'll avoid that problem altogether.
Don't go to any MAGA event.
No, I wouldn't now either.
Listen, you're going to be contacted on Facebook and friends, and they're going to say, we're going here, we're going. Do not go to anything.
I agree.
And I know a lot of people listening might say, oh, this is a – no. That's what they want you to do, and it's not – okay, so Bragg up in New York, who's bringing these ridiculous charges against Trump, which we don't really know what the charges are. A lot of people are speculating on what they might be.
Why did Trump come out and say he's getting arrested? Who would have told him that it's definitely
his legal
happening
team?
And to be so how did they find out? Did somebody contact
Bragg and New York's people obviously contacted Trump's lawyers and
maybe they'll
Secret
change
Service.
their mind. Maybe they'll change their mind.
Let's hope. This is what's going on here, an arrest. I wouldn't want any president, even Biden, arrested. Okay, when you start arresting presidents,
I agree, it's bad. For
that is what they'll be doing from now and forever in this country. And I know you'll say, "Well, Biden's a criminal, Hillary's a criminal." I agree with you, but most everything that's done under the law in the United States is by legal precedent. And if they arrest a president, they're going to arrest presidents all the time.
Republican presidents.
Well, yeah, but that's
the ones they don't like.
That's not a country you want to live in, and we don't want that to happen. And
I'd like to hear from liberals on your show this week, and I think you should call for this. I want to hear from liberals that agree with you on this, because I have a feeling every liberal will say that he should be arrested. But I'd like to hear from a common sense liberal on Brian's radio show this week that agrees with you that he should not be arrested.
No,
I don't think they exist. I don't think they exist. What do you think? Do you think a liberal would call in and agree with you?
No.
No, I don't think they would either.
Now, Bragg in New York is the one who brought in this. There's no bail. You're just arrested. You're automatically released, right? Well, unless your name is Trump.
Right.
A legal analyst appearing on MSNBC has said that Donald Trump's post on Truth Social predicting his arrest Tuesday may influence the conditions set for bail. Trump wrote a message on Truth Social Saturday morning announcing he expected to be arrested on Tuesday in connection with an investigation by the Manhattan District Attorney's Office concerning payments allegedly made to Stormy Daniels. Additionally, Trump called for protest in the event of his arrest. There should be no protesting. The legal analyst Glenn Kirshner appeared on MSNBC. He was asked if Trump's post could be used against him. And he said this: under the rules of evidence, this is what I would call a statement of party opponent. I would slap a government exhibit sticker on this post and would introduce it at his criminal trial. He described Trump's post as a miscalculation and dog whistle, might come to bear on the conditions of Trump's bail. And of course they're going to use January 6th in connection with that. So they're going to say that he's calling for an uprising because he said something about a protest so that he cannot be released on bail, because if he's free, he could call for violence.
Right.
So they're going to use that as a way not to give him bail. And I'll tell you, if they book him up in New York, he'll be fingerprinted. There'll be a mugshot. They'll strip search him. They'll put him in a cell. And they're going to bring him before an arraignment judge.
This is awful.
And
they're going to strip search him?
That's what they do to prisoners. Yeah, sure. They'll have him bend over to make sure he's not smuggling in contraband. That's what they do to everyone who's arrested.
Do you think Trump should have announced it, or do you think he should have left it alone for the shock value? Because what if he had never said anything last week? Everybody's had time to process it over the last 3 or 4 days. And by the time it happens, I hate to say you'll be desensitized, but maybe a little. I think he should have just not said anything and just let it happen, and then everybody would be in a complete state of shock.
Yeah.
But now that he has said it and let the cat out of the bag, I mean, it's just my personal opinion, that shock value is going to wear off a little bit. Do you agree with me on that? Do you think that it would have been better for him not to say anything?
No.
Have him like pulled out of Mar-a-Lago at 6 o'clock in the morning?
I'm glad he did. You know,
in his bathrobe.
They've been talking about this for a while, okay? And I never took it as a serious thing until Trump posted it on True Social. Yeah. And him with the Uniparty and the Democrats are doing now is they're doing massive polling to try to find out what the public's reaction is to the arrest.
I don't think they care.
Oh, they care if it's they're not polling us. They're polling Democrats. And they want to find out what Democrats and Rhino Republican voters think about this.
Well, we know what they think. They're going to say go for it.
Maybe not. Maybe not. Arresting a president's a pretty big deal. And
that's what I'm saying. I'd like to see liberals call your show.
It's not going to happen.
That agree. That's what I'm saying.
Not going to happen.
They're not going to find anybody that disagrees with this on the left.
No, it's not going to happen.
They're going to cheer them on.
You know, I was trying to explain this to people this morning, and I don't know if I explained it well enough, but I'm going to try again because this is a pretty big deal. Yeah. It's more than just a pretty big deal. And a lot of people say, oh, it's outrageous. It's this, it's that. Of course it is. But arresting, and forget about Trump, arresting a president of the United States takes this country into a place where we've never been, and it's one of the most historical events, if it were to happen, that's happened in American history. We've had a lot of corrupt criminal presidents. We have one now. And even, I remember when people were saying with Hillary Clinton, lock her up, during the first campaign. And some of you remember, I said, no, of course she's a criminal. Of course her husband is a criminal. But if you arrest Hillary Clinton, they're going to start arresting first ladies from this point forward forever. Melania will get arrested. Others will get arrested. I know they're criminals, Biden, Hillary. And if they were normal people, they would get arrested, but they're not normal people. And also, when you're talking about politicians, whoever the politician is, half the country love them, half the country hate them, and just generally speaking. And you arrest a president of the United States who's done no crime on some trumped-up charges, come on. Half the country instantly know, without even thinking about it, it's a terrible thing. But I
agree, but they don't care. They're in the business of division.
Yeah.
And all they have wanted, and they're going to get it, is a picture of Trump behind bars.
The mugshot.
Not only a mugshot, Brian, they're going to get a picture of him behind bars. This is what they have been fantasizing about for years and years and years, and they're manifesting it right now. They're going to make it happen. They're all into manifestation BS, and they're going to make this happen. They don't care about the consequences. They don't care how it affects the country. They don't care what half the country thinks. They want to see him behind bars.
That's right.
In an orange suit, splashed across the Daily Mail, the New York Post, the New York Times, forever as part of American history. But let me tell you something. I think this politically will backfire if they do follow through with it. Hopefully they'll change their mind. But if they follow through with this, Trump said he'll still run. There's nothing he says they can't. He will still run. He said he'd run from behind bars. I mean, he is the toughest bastard I've ever heard of. My God. I don't know how this guy sleeps at night. It doesn't seem to faze him. He has got the strongest will of anybody I've ever seen. Anybody normal would crumble under this kind of pressure. Absolutely fall to pieces by now. It doesn't seem to faze him. It almost seems to energize him even more and give him more of a purpose. It's strange to me. I appreciate it. Believe me, I respect him. But I don't understand that kind of fortitude that he has. I got to tell you, because it's almost not human the way he is. It's like superhuman. But they're going to get that mugshot. But I think that hopefully sound-minded liberals, and again, I'm calling for them to call your show and say this, will even agree with you that this is a huge mistake. This is bad for the country. I really want to hear from liberals who feel that way, or leave it in the comments. Say, I'm a liberal. I didn't vote for Trump, but I agree this is a huge mistake for the country. Think about it. No, think about all the things Clinton has done, and Hillary and Biden and all the presidents before Trump that have done things very corrupted. Nothing ever happened. And this is the man they're arresting over $130,000 payment to some bimbo that he didn't even pay. His lawyer paid.
That's right.
With his own money.
The lawyer's own money.
Right, with the lawyer's money. And Trump probably paid Michael Cohen back just because he's a nice guy. And he thought, you know what? He paid her off to help me, so I'll give him the money back. You know what I mean? I think he just did it because that's the kind of guy he is. And I just think this is so disgraceful. And I almost feel like we're in bizarro world, what's happening right now. It's just insane to me that this is happening. They're going to arrest a former president and a presidential candidate, fingerprint him, strip search, put him behind bars. You think that's good for the country? You don't think that looks bad to the whole? China's loving this right now. They are loving every minute of this.
Well, you know,
it's disgusting.
What I'd like to see the Republicans do, Kevin McCarthy, because they've got to respond to this.
He responded. He said it's a disgrace, but let's see if he does anything.
It's a disgrace. That's very mild.
Exactly.
I think that Kevin McCarthy, the Republican, should shut down the government until
do something.
Bragg is out. I mean, enough is enough.
Well, let's see if they put their money where their mouth is, because it's easy for them to get on TV and say this is an abomination and this
vague.
is this and that.
What
are you going to do about it? What are you going to do about it, McCarthy? You know what I mean? Let's see. Next week is going to be possibly one of the most interesting weeks in political history in this country.
Oh yeah. Now I want to take a moment to thank all of our Patreon supporters for their support of the program. And if you would like to support the show by becoming a patron to the program, there's a link in the description of this episode. And there's also a direct link on my website, briancraigshow.com. And there are perks and benefits to becoming a patron of the program, including access to commercial-free editions of each and every podcast episode. That's exclusive to Patreon supporters. And our top Patreon supporters get a live on-air thank you shout-out on every episode. So the names you will hear now are our top Patreon supporters. I want to thank Andrew and Connie, Christine, ETW, Chuck, D, Pamela, Rick, Nick, Wesley, Macho, Rome, Wisconsin, Mike P, Carlos, Paulette, and John, our newest top Patreon supporter. John, welcome to the mix. So, guys, we're going to take a quick break. When we get back, there's much more to talk about. Be back right after this.
Are you a mom or know a mom who deserves something special? Show off your mom style with fun t-shirts from Bat Mom Shop. Bat Mom Shop is stocked with a wide range of t-shirts for all kinds of moms, from hot moms to sports moms, Christmas moms to Halloween moms, dog moms, cat moms, funny moms, American moms, and that's just the beginning. There's something for every mom at Bat Mom Shop. All the designs are printed on premium ultra soft tees with worldwide shipping straight to any mom. They make great gifts too, to show appreciation for your mom. So whether you're a mom looking to treat yourself, a dad searching for that perfect gift, or just looking for something special to give your mom, check out Bat Mom Shop on redbubble.com. You can also find them on Instagram at bat.m0m. Start shopping right now. Are you searching for something in your life but can't seem to pinpoint what it is? The Seventh Sense from author Julie LeBraden, available now on Amazon, could be the answer you're looking for. Join Diego as he embarks on a journey of self-discovery and liberation in a dystopian world where every form of human expression is taboo. In this thought-provoking novel, the author's writing explores the consequences of progress on society and emphasizes the importance of embracing life's full spectrum with themes of freedom, human consciousness, and emotional intelligence explored through a prism of neurodiversity. The Seventh Sense challenges readers to break free from the constraints of a regulated society and discover the kaleidoscopic facets of human experience. Order your copy of The Seventh Sense today and awaken your sense of liberation. The Seventh Sense from author Julie LeBraden, available on Amazon in Kindle and paperback. Order your copy right now. Have you ever said to yourself, I can't work and deal with home? Or, that manager's crazy, I'm not doing that. How about this one? These late hours are so stressful. Does anyone else's spouse do this? If you've had any of these thoughts, yep, we hear you. Tune into the Coffee with Christopher podcast on Spotify. Host Christopher Gentry and his guest open up about their unique experiences with work and in life and share the lessons they've learned along the way. Each episode feels like a heart-to-heart conversation, over coffee, of course. If you're ready to connect with the community of people sharing compelling stories, join Coffee with Christopher on Spotify and discover the power of sharing your story.
You are listening to the Brian Craig Show podcast, broadcasting from sunny South Florida. Brian is joined by his wife and co-host, Kathy. Follow Brian on social media at briancraigshow.com. And now, Brian and Kathy.
Welcome back, everyone. I'm Brian Craig, always joined by my wife and co-host, Kathy. Okay, so Michael Cohen, Trump's former lawyer. This is really scummy. He went on MSNBC and today, and, Michael Cohen, they got him on some crazy charges. He went to prison, got out early, and I think he made a deal that for the rest of his life,
I agree with you on this.
He will be available to testify against President Trump for the rest of his life, and also he'll go on TV whenever requested to bash President Trump.
I agree with that.
And that's how he got out of prison. So this is today. This is in Breitbart. Michael Cohen, former personal attorney for Donald Trump, said Sunday on MSNBC's Alec Witt reports that prosecutors from the Manhattan District Attorney's Office convening a grand jury as part of a criminal probe into a 2016 hush money payment to porn star Stormy Daniels have asked him to come in Monday as a rebuttal witness. Cohen said, "This morning I did receive a whole slew of phone calls from journalists asking me if I'm going to be back to the DA's office tomorrow," that would be Monday, "as a rebuttal witness to whoever it is that they're bringing there tomorrow. Whether it's before the grand jury or it's just to meet with them for the interview, I'm not sure. But yes, I was asked to make myself available and to be at the DA's office tomorrow as a rebuttal witness." Witt asked, "Rebuttal to whom or for what? Has this been clarified?" Michael Cohen says, "No, I don't know who the person is. Obviously, once they find out who the person is, I'll know what the issue is. I was personally involved. Again, I don't know. It's a little premature, blah, blah, blah." Wow. Michael Cohen will say whatever he has to say or they want him to say. Sure. And that's just the way that it is. Here's the deal. So what I was talking about in the first segment. They have done everything since Trump came down the escalator, and they have all these things, since the Mueller investigation and the dossier up till now. Everything they've done, if you listen to what they say, they're like, okay, they love Trump, but once the Trump supporters are aware of this, then they'll finally drop him. So this is another one of those things.
Just makes us want just love him more.
What they don't understand, because they have Trump derangement syndrome, and all of the people that around them have Trump derangement syndrome.
Yeah.
So they don't see things clearly. They don't understand why those of us who support Trump still support him. No. And, they've even backed off their support of pumping up DeSantis a little bit. They for a while, what they've been trying to do the last couple of months is to promote Ron DeSantis. Okay, we'll promote Ron DeSantis. It's the new generation. People are tired of Trump. And then they'll move on. And every poll, Trump has a double-digit lead against DeSantis. So that is something that just fizzled out on them. Yep. So that's why they're going for this arrest. And, Elon Musk tweeted over the weekend that if they indict or arrest Donald Trump, he'll win in a landslide victory. And he'll run from a jail cell if he has to.
He's back on YouTube, and I know he posted one video, a very quick little short video. And is that all he's posted on there? I don't know.
As of this moment.
I don't know why he's not on there more. Now, this weekend, I thought he'd be putting I don't understand. I guess he has this contract with this Truth Social, but he did post on YouTube. So clearly it doesn't affect YouTube. He did make a post. So I thought he would be posting all weekend videos of what's going on and letting people know. And since he's already let the cat out of the bag, what I would do if I was him, I would be on YouTube giving a play-by-play of what's happening.
Yeah.
Behind the scenes, okay, this is what I've heard. This is what's going on. I want you to know. You're the people. You need to know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And clue us in as to what's happening instead of waiting. Now that he's talked about it, tell us everything. That I'm meeting with my lawyers. We're here at Mar-a-Lago, record it, put it on YouTube, let everybody see what's going on, and give us a clue. You know what I mean? And take us along this journey with that he's going through, because his people will support him. But I'd like to see that. Don't you agree? I think that would be a smart move on his part. But it's Sunday, and he hasn't put anything on YouTube. But I don't understand.
Trump is back in Florida, but yesterday he flew out of town for that flight. He flew out of state. He should not leave Florida.
I agree.
He should stay in Florida and not leave Florida until this is settled.
I agree. I mean, why do you think they could do a Charlie Chaplin and make it where he can't get back in the state here?
Ron DeSantis is the only governor that we can count on to stand up against extradition.
Well, he's the only governor, I think, that has that power. I mean, if he was in another state, could that governor do it too?
Any governor can do it in any state.
Then he should go to Arkansas.
But I don't trust Sarah Huckabee.
Well,
no, I don't trust Sarah Huckabee.
Then that's crazy.
But
she wouldn't be where she was without Trump.
This is
DeSantis, the same thing.
This is going to be the big test. With for DeSantis, you look at these other presidents.
I think he's going to fail this
test.
test.
Here you got this latest scandal with the Bidens, where they took all this money from the Chinese. George W. Bush lied about weapons of mass destruction.
Yep.
Millions of people's lives have been destroyed over his lies. He's a war criminal.
Absolutely.
And he wasn't arrested. I mean,
they even talked about it, but it never happened.
Bill Clinton physically assaulted Paula Jones.
Yep.
Juanita Broderick says he raped her twice.
Yep.
He fondled Kathleen Willey in the Oval Office. He touched her inappropriately. And all these things that have been done by presidents that we know about. And here's President Trump, who's done nothing. Yep. They're going to arrest him out of all these other guys. It's crazy.
Well, okay, so how it works, an indictment is that's technically an arrest.
No. What Bragg has done, and he's gone to a grand jury to get an indictment.
Right.
So the grand jury will come back recommending an indictment, and then Bragg has to decide on an indictment. What's he going to do with it? Is he going to prosecute it or not?
Well, Trump said he will be arrested, not indicted. He said arrested.
An indictment, then you have an arrest. If they're going to prosecute it, they got to arrest him. And if they arrest him, they got to fingerprint him, take a mugshot, and take him before an arraignment judge.
Bragg, that's just nuts. Bragg wants to go down in history. Otherwise, he's a forgotten figure. Okay? But if he does this, whether it's good or bad, whether the outcome is good or bad, he will forever go down in history as the man who arrested a president. And if he doesn't do this, he will be a forgotten person in history, like all the other DAs of this country. They do their job and that's it. But this is huge for him. Don't you agree? This is like his moment to be in the history books forever. Whatever the outcome, he will be known as the man who arrested President Trump. And that's something that a lot of people have wanted to happen. And who knows what's going on with him, and maybe George Soros is involved. I don't know. But there's something going on with him. But I think that's part of his motivation. And I'm sure there's other things motivating him as well to do this. There's a lot of corruption going around, a lot of things going on behind the scenes to make sure this happens, that they get this visual, that they get this in the history books.
Yep.
So, I think it's definitely going to happen. I think it's too juicy for these people to not go follow through with. This is the climax of what they've been hoping for and praying for and fantasizing about for years and years and years, that Trump is finally going to be behind bars, be fingerprinted, have a mugshot, be strip searched. They have talked about this. This is what they want. It's finally happening. They're not going to walk away from this. This is their chance.
President Trump.
They're sick.
President Trump is the only president we've ever had who's not been chosen for us by the establishment.
Yeah.
And, he won the Republican nomination. They were not expecting that, and he won it. Okay. Remember, before the convention, in the first campaign, they were talking about having a broker convention because they were so upset that he won all the primaries, right? So
I remember. I was afraid of that. I remember that.
Every other president we've had has been picked by the major parties. Everyone.
Yep.
Until now. And they can't handle it because they lose. And they're gearing up for this fake war with Russia and Ukraine that he's promising to stop.
Yep.
And that's like their ship coming in of money. They can't, and there's many other things too. But we are in very dangerous territory. You don't want to live in if the United States government arrests Donald Trump, we no longer in a free country officially. No. We are officially a banana republic. This is what they do in Guatemala.
And throw away the key. Like they want to treat him like Assange. They want him to be locked up and never heard from again.
That's right.
Lock him up in a dungeon. This is what they did to those two princes in England. Remember, wasn't it King Richard locked up his two nephews, the twins? I remember when I went to the Tower of London, they talked about that when we were there. And they showed us the tower where they locked those two twins up, the princes, and threw away the key because he wanted to have power. That's what's going on right now. They want to lock him up, throw away the key. You never hear from him again. Well, unfortunately, Trump is, like I've said, somebody you cannot ignore. We have social media, but I don't think that would happen. And he said he would still run, even if he's behind bars. I mean, he's just a special kind of guy.
Nothing in the Constitution forbids him from running, even if he's convicted and imprisoned.
Yeah, well, he's going to do it. He is going to do it. I think he's going to see this through and take it as far as it goes.
This business in New York with Bragg, who took all that money, $1 million or so from Soros. So
he is involved with Soros.
He's a Soros-controlled prosecutor.
Oh, well, there you go.
The Republicans in Washington need to speak up now. And I mean, really speak up, not put some mild tweets out. I mean, really, like what I want McCarthy to do is shut down the government.
This will be a very interesting week, Brian.
Or at least cut New York off from any federal funding. And McCarthy can do that. I mean, this is just wrong.
This week
just wrong.
Will be a true test. And to quote the Bible, it will be we'll separate the wheat from the chaff. Remember when they said Jesus came to do that? Mm-hmm. That's what's going to happen here. We're going to find out who the wheat is and who the chaff is.
Who the real MAGA is and who the fake MAGA are.
And this is a true test of many people in politics.
That's right.
DeSantis, McCarthy, and I don't want just empty words or empty outrage. I want people in positions of power to actually use their power to do something to help him. Getting up and saying, I'm outraged or this is a disgrace, that's all fine and good. I'm saying that too. But, you can actually do something about it and shut down the government, fight the extradition, do those kinds of things. My prediction is DeSantis will do nothing. And I'll be very disappointed in him. But tell me what you guys think. That'd be a huge mistake.
Now, listen. If you would like to advertise or promote something on the podcast, send me an email. Well, Kathy gets the emails, but go to briancraigshow.com and send us an email there. If you have a business, a product, something you would like to advertise, no matter what it is, reach out and send us an email. And when you do, tell us what it is you would like to advertise on the program, and also send us a link if there is one, whatever you have, so Kathy and I can take a look at it. And Kathy gets the emails, and then she'll go over it with me, and then we'll get back to you, okay? And we have very reasonable rates to advertise on the program. So go to briancraigshow.com. You can send an email there. Now, let us know in the comments what you think about the arrest of Trump and everything we've talked about. Maybe you have some thoughts and ideas we haven't covered. But if you're new to this program, follow or subscribe on whatever platform you were listening to us on, because we're moving into uncharted territory in this country with the arrest of President Trump. And we're going to be covering it all right here. My name is Brian Craig, always joined by my wife and co-host Kathy. We will talk to you next time.
Are you struggling to connect with your teen? Are you worried about the troubles your teen is facing in today's world? Don't miss out on the ultimate guide to faith-led parenting with the book from Script Seeds, Parenting Teens Through Faith, available on Amazon. Parenting Teens Through Faith is your essential handbook to raising confident, resilient, and empowered teenagers. This book provides practical advice for providing a strong, faith-based foundation for building character, virtues, and resilience in your teen. You'll also discover essential biblical principles for providing hope and confidence, no matter your faith background. Start building a stronger, more resilient family with Parenting Teens Through Faith, available in Kindle, paperback, and hardcover editions on Amazon. This book is perfect for church groups. Order your copy right now.